Everyone, my name is Cerebellum and this is Academy of the Ancients. I'm back with a replay review, this time of a game I found in /r/analyze my Dota 2. This is going to be a Huskar game. We're going to be watching Danelo13's Huskar here. So this is at around 2500 MMR and he's running a Huskar mid. So that's good so far. I like his starting item build. So we're just going to go through his Huskar skills, what he's good at, what you should be building him into, and then we're just gonna do the usual, trying to just take a look at what Danel here is just not doing so well. And in this case, I think there's a few intricacies in how he uses his skills, and there's also the matter of last hitting that really needs some work here. So yeah, let's just head into it. So Huskar is a really good hero at soaking up damage, and he's a pretty ganky hero overall. He's got a really good damage ability here in the burning spears. These stack and they deal a lot of damage on level 11 here. They actually deal 40 damage per stack. They cost them 15 health flat across the board. This is probably the skill you want to max first, and it's really good. It's one of the things that makes the hero pretty good. So yeah, you can kill yourself with it, and they do stack multiples, so you can just kind of wail on a guy. But once you get these guys up to level 4, they'll deal 120. No, that's not right. Let's see. It's okay. So 5 times 20, that's 100, and then you have actually it's 160, 160 per right click in damage over time, in magical damage over time. So he racks up the damage pretty fast. He's got another good damage ability, and his ult also allows him to close distance, which is really good. It's also got a short cooldown, so you can just kind of use it a lot. And one of the things I think he could be doing better in this game is using his ult in better situations. And general movement as well. He's got this inner vitality. It's probably his weakest ability. I would say it's a lot better later on. It's basically just a regen you can target on allies or yourself. Mostly you'll probably want to use it on yourself. And yeah, it's one of the only things you can use mana for. Like, that's one of the peculiar things with this guy. He doesn't use mana for anything. He uses health instead. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. So that's why it has got a brutal mana cost. Like 170 mana is a lot. But considering that the only thing you have to use your mana for else is like items, like if you want to TP out, then yeah. But it's, you know, the base regen here isn't amazing. It's 2 at level 1, and then it goes up to 8 at level 4. But the thing is, you also get regen based on your attribute. And when you get stuff that's based on your attributes, naturally it's going to be better later on when you have farm and you have levels. So you know, when you're level 4 and you're level 25, this is going to be doing a lot of healing, especially when you are hurt. And it does more healing when you are below 40%. So let's say you're maxed out, you go below 40%, suddenly you're going to get 75% bonus of your main attribute in regen. So I haven't actually checked up on this, but I'm assuming this means it's just the flat attribute. So in this case, 70. It's just if you have these 28 strength, then you get 75% of 28, which is, what's that? 23, something like that. Yeah, something like that. In regen, so that's a lot when you are below 40%. But at the lower levels, I don't think you should be putting a level into this. Pretty much what you do is you max out Burning Spears and Berserker's Blood first, and you pick up your Life Break at level 6. So yeah, there isn't really any ambiguity in how to level this guy, I think. He's got Berserker's Blood. It gives you more attack speed and magic resistance as you lose life. So the lower you become in life, the more tanky you become to magic, and the more damage you're dealing out because your attack speed just kind of explodes. So yeah, that's a pretty good combo. But this makes him pretty tanky against something like Lion's Finger of Death. The very first video I did, there was a Lion who did a very bad Finger of Death against a low health Huskar, and he ends up getting like 70 or 80% magic resist, and the Finger of Death just nothing. But it does make him very weak to physical damage. And that's one of the reasons why he isn't played so much in the competitive scene, especially. He's not actually that easy to keep alive. Like you can finish him off with physical damage pretty easy. As you can see, he's only got 1 armor base here, so one of his big issues is getting armor up early on. Yeah. Then he's got Life Break. This is just kind of, he leaps at the enemy. He does a bunch of damage, and then he Then he slows as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a closer, like you close distance with it. It's pretty good to initiate with, it's pretty good to catch up with. It deals a bunch of damage to Huskar, and it also deals damage to his target. And it deals quite a lot of damage actually. So it's a good ability. You should definitely pick it up. It's definitely maxed out. I haven't seen people get the Aghanim's on him. I haven't seen a lot of people play Huskar, but I haven't ever seen anyone get the Aghanim's, so I'm assuming it isn't that amazing. Yeah, the cooldown is quite low though, so you can quite easily spam it out. At level 3, you can even say at 15 seconds you might use it twice in an engagement, which is pretty big. So yeah, you'll want to build this guy into the usual stuff for strength carry. He's pretty unusual in that he's a ranged strength carry. So I think especially Armlet is good to get on him. Earn when you go for this starting build, when you have the gauntlets already, is pretty good. Especially if you're going ganking and you can get some charges on it. What else is there? Yeah, Helm of the Dominator is good, but as usual with lifesteal, I prefer that you get it after you get your damage. Especially if you're gonna get an armlet, the armlet is gonna be better at keeping you alive before you get some damage. Early on, Huskar's gonna be relying on his Spurny Spears for damage and his attack speed. His right click, his base right click isn't amazing. So if you get like the Helm of the Dominator early on, it's not gonna be very good at keeping you alive. Far more important to get the armor up and the 25 strength from the activated armlet. So late game, going to a Satanic, he's gonna get an Eye of Scatty here. That's pretty good, but I think he went it a bit early and he kind of skipped over a few items he shouldn't have. So yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's just start it. So obviously, if your enemy team is really high on nuke, this guy gets better. If they're really high on physical damage, he gets worse, because he can't, like, one of his big strengths is this extra magic resistance he gets, and his attack speed. So he doesn't like being locked down, he doesn't like stuns, doesn't like pure damage. Basically any damage that isn't magical. So he's got a roaming Mirana. She's sitting down here just throwing out random arrows. We're going to be taking a look at his last hits, because he's going to be doing not so good a job here. He's showing some restraint now, but he was, at a later point we're going to see him also attacking a lot, which I'm a little bit surprised that happened so much at 2500 MMR. Here he's going to miss. See, he missed this last hit, which really should not. So he's missing a lot of last hits that he really should be getting. We're going to notice that his lane is pushed out almost all the time. He didn't get a very good block off. Now they did have a pretty decent arrow there, and that's going to allow him to get first blood. And that's obviously really huge for him, and really good. But now he's going to kind of underestimate the Bad Rider here, and just hang out at half health, which is not something he can really look to do at this point. Especially not if he's standing inside the what's it called? Firefly, yeah. And now he's just going to get 2 stacks on him. He's going to die easy here. He's going to try some man fight up here. And I think just going a little bit right, getting him, just threatening him with tower damage. Tower damage is a lot more than your damage at this point. So the return kill there, it's not as big as the first blood, but it's still a huge deal, and shouldn't have hung around for that. Should have gone back, gotten a little bit of regen. Certainly not moving into the Firefly there was just a blunder. So the Bad Rider's really low here, but the Bad Rider has got he's got the high ground advantage. He's standing right next to his tower, so that's a lot safer. One of the really bad parts about auto-attacking, as much as this guy is going to be doing at a later point, is that you end up with the lane being pushed all the time, and that's not really to your advantage. So we see that the Enigma has been AFK for 2 minutes here, and that's unfortunate, of course, but it isn't like GG. It's bad. Like that, those 2 minutes are pretty important, but he's in the game now. It's not like they're 4 versus 5. So we'll see. So he's doing a good job of last hitting right now. There, he missed one where he just attacked way too early. He's only got 57 base damage now, even with two gauntlets. So his base attack's really not great. And you can't really use damage over time for last hitting. That doesn't really work very well, unless it's super high damage. And you don't want to be paying life for last hits here. See, now he missed another last hit there. This one he got, but he's sort of just getting those he can get while auto-attacking. Like, he's just throwing out random spears, random attacks here, when, yeah, before he missed another one there. So he could be way higher in last hits. He's only got 6 last hits. The one thing that's keeping him high in net worth is his first blood. So that's good, by all means, but that was kind of the Mirana setting that up. That was what he was trying to do, though. He's gonna go into a first item Morbid Mask, and I think this is a big mistake. Like, I think he should have probably just picked up boots while he was home when he died. But now he's gonna get Morbid Mask first. And this is just 15% lifesteal, but it's just 15% of this. It doesn't work on your Burning Spears damage. So that means it's just 15% of your physical damage after reduction. So that's gonna be a very small amount of health per right click here. Very small. So I'm not a fan of this. I think this should be delayed. And I think probably if you're looking for around the 900 item, get your Iron Helm. Is it called Helm of Iron Will? I think it's called Helm of Iron Will for the armlet. I think that's very important. Like you see, he's got 1 armor, and that's a big deal. You need to get that armor up a bit. He's only got 9% reduction in his physical, so yeah. See, he's gonna miss another one here. He's missing last hits all the time because of this. Yeah, we're gonna speed it up a little bit because that's sort of the story of the game right now. Is he's just missing way too many last hits. Yeah, see, he just missed nearly an entire wave there. He's just doing mediocrely despite having, honestly, a pretty good lane for him. Like, Bat Rider has mostly magical damage, notoriously bad right-clicking on that guy. He's just right-clicking here, auto-attacking. So, this is just keeping the lane pushed. Sometimes you do want the middle lane pushed because then you can go take runes, and he's gonna do that now. But, yeah, he's also using the courier to just bring out very small items, like he used it to bring out his Morph Mask, and now he's using it again to bring out his runes. Baroften gets a nice double kill over here.
Radiant's top tower
So his team is doing well. They get some return kills over here, and Huskar tries to go over here and try to see if he can make anything happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He makes the good choice and just gets out. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Had a little
under
bit of
attack.
lag there, so maybe my PC isn't really up to the task of running this in ×2 right now, but we'll see. So we see here he's just missing a lot of last hits. Yeah, there's one creep hitting from his side and he's missing last hits. He's not putting any effort into timing it, basically. Yeah, he's just auto-attacking now. That's super bad. Here he should have definitely left. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he lost vision or something. But he just stopped instead of leaping up, and that would have, I think that would have been a kill if he did leap up, probably. Maybe, I don't know, the Bat Rider was at pretty high health. Yeah. One thing is, when you're playing against Bat Rider, you really wanna make sure you're taking a look at how many stacks are on you. Like right now there's no stacks on him, but because of Bat Rider's sticky napalm, yeah, this you just wanna you know, if you've got 3 or 4 stacks of you on this, you're gonna take damage a lot. Like even a Huskar, he's gonna get low pretty fast, just because that's a huge amount of magical damage, and that can get hairy pretty fast. But, you know, he's missing nearly all of these last hits, so his income is really stifled by this, and he's really happy to react to stuff happening nearby. For a mid, like he's really happy to just kind of move around a lot and not farm. And that's really bad. Like he should just, if you like right now, because he's so kind of bad at last hitting, he's not losing a lot relative to what he would have gotten by rotating this much. But if he was better at last hitting, as he should be, then these kind of rotations really hurt your income. But since his income is basically non-existent, like you see here, he just misses a dead easy last hit again. Like you're just making it harder for yourself to last hit, and you're pushing your lane.
Radiant's bottom tower
when you're
is
just
under
auto-attacking
attack.
like this, it's just horrible. So he's gonna go up here for an engagement, and here we see one of the first uses of Life Break. He's gonna use it to jump in here, and this I think is early. Like they couldn't really run from you here, so I think just go in with Burning Spears on the Lion, and he's forced to either stun you or the Baroften. Here he got a double stun off, and I think that saved the Lion. If you could just force him to choose between you, and then once the stun wears off, you can go in with Life Break. I think that would guarantee 2 kills there, so that's really good. I think you should definitely use the tangos here as well. Like, there's no reason these tangos aren't going to be super important anymore. So
snatched from the jaws of demons.
Yeah. And he's just gonna go into power threats now, by the way. His team hasn't, you know, bought the flying courier yet, which is kind of bad. They do have wards out, which is pretty good, pretty basic wards, but still better than nothing. Yeah, the Wind Ranger is last hitting really well. Like we see, the Wind Ranger is nearly a triple the last hits of the Huskar, so definitely something the Huskar's doing wrong if it's that big of a difference. Like, I mean, he didn't get crushed mid lane, it was fairly even. So there wasn't anything. He even had a Mirana setting up ganks for him mid lane, so he should have been doing way better than he is. He's doing decently, mainly because of that first blood, but like his item choices paired with his crappy last hitting makes this a very lackluster situation for what it could have been. Had his last hitting been up to snuff, he could have been doing way better. This one, this belt of giants, belt of strength, he could pick up here in the side shop. Can get a completed. Yeah, okay, need to take a look at that. So they're both gonna die here. This is a bit of. I'm gonna put this down to underestimating Treant's living armor here, which is really easy to do. I think, yeah, this is just he thinks he can go in and sneak a last hit on this, and I think even trading your life for this is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty dubious trade, honestly. But Broodmother has so much physical damage with her ult that she can just easily kill the Huskar. And yeah, that's 2 kills for another tower. So that's a horrible loss there for them. And yeah,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think that's pretty bad. Go Brotham getting out again. They do have a very ganky team. Like Windrunner is pretty decent at it, Mirana's good at it, Huskar's good at it, Brotham is good at it. So they should definitely be trying to set up these ganks. But the problem is they're kind of lacking a really good hard carry. The other guys don't really have a good hard carry either. They have Broodmother and Furion, which is kind of okay. But yeah, these are some pretty typical team compositions for this level of play, in that they're lacking some pretty obvious things. Yeah, should definitely, like, unless you can get your team to come down here, you can't defend this, like, just straight up. I don't know why he's going down here.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Unless he's communicating with his team. Like, we don't have pings. I think we don't have yeah, all this stuff. So
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Regeneration.
Yeah. But he's just, it's important to know that he's basically just auto-attacking and hoping to get a last hit at this point, which is really bad. Like, it's super bad. You should still be trying to get last hits at this point. Still focus on that, like, cause you're just being lazy. Basically, it's perfectly possible to time it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Because there's no one here, they're probably gonna get this. Yeah, there we go.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They're gonna trade the Huskar for it as well, so maybe not worth it. Like, the Wind Ranger can escape really easily. So I think maybe just letting her get it would have been better. Like, you are really important as a mid Huskar. Like, that is your position 2. I keep forgetting what's the mid and what's the carry in that. But yeah, it's basically you are one of the 2 most important heroes on your team. The only thing more important probably being the carry. But really, you should be looking to...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, what's it called? To snowball a lot harder than this. And your item choices here are making it pretty hard for you to snowball. So these are some very... let's just take a moment to talk about this. None of these items really give you any impressive damage. Like, the overwhelming is a little bit. You've got 6 strength from this. You really want to rank up some damage and rank up some tank. And this is kind of a recovery item. This is really not doing very much for you at all at this point, to be honest. It's giving you, let's see, 15% of 80 damage after it goes through armor. If you look at, like, Bat Rider, he's got 7 armor, which equates to 32% reduction. So we take off a third of this, is about 25 off, so 55. So we take 15% of 55. That's about 7 life per right click. Yeah, that's not amazing. Like, that's, you know, let's say you get off 10 right clicks. 10 right clicks in between stuns and all that in a team engagement. That's 70 life. You've paid 900 for 70 life in that fight. and that's just not good enough. Like you're lacking so much armor that your life against physical damage is not worth a lot either. Like if you've gotten the Helm of Iron Will instead, that's 5 armor and 3 regen. So the 5 armor would bring you up to a lot more resistance, would add more to your HP alone than the lifesteal. So the lifesteal is a lot better when you have better right click. That's basically it. Once you have a really good right click, then the lifesteal becomes really valuable. But once you don't, before you have that, then it's just really lackluster. So yeah, he's just basically built into, like, okay, the power threat is good damage because it's 30 attack speed, which is a lot. Even though you have an attack speed steroid, it's still really good. Like 30 attack speed's a lot. So I like that purchase. The others here, and I also like the Overwhelm. It's dead cheap. Good, slow is good for you for setting up solo kills. But you are really reliant on the Burning Spear for damage right now. And I think just straight up tank and damage would be good. And the armlet is just that. Like the armlet's just so good on this guy. It's unbelievable. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So they're setting up here. They probably have a black hole. Let's see. Barathum comes in, pretty good. You jump on a tree and I think focusing the tree end here is not a good choice. Enigma's probably really low level actually. He's level 9. He just okay. Well, he didn't use black hole. He should blink. Okay, there we go. Just to blink. Okay. So that went horribly. I think pretty horribly, yeah. That's your 2 most important heroes. The Mirana is roaming. Or well, maybe Wind Ranger is more important than both of them actually. But the Barathum dying is really bad. The Huskar dying is really bad. The Bad Rider dying for them is really bad, but the tree end doesn't matter at all. Like, the tree end doesn't care. He doesn't need anything. Absolutely pointless black hole here. They're not even gonna get this kill, I would wager. Yeah.
Dire's bottom
Horrible
tower is
hole.
under attack.
So that black hole basically just didn't no, that root there though. He just doesn't have anything to protect him against this physical damage. Like that's Huskar's biggest problem.
Dire's
And that's
middle tower
even more
is
his biggest
under
problem
attack.
here is that he's really weak to this physical damage. He's got yeah.
Dire's middle tower
He's just
is
not
under attack.
snowballing nearly enough right now, so
Dire's top tower
yeah,
is
he's
under
just gonna
attack.
go now these engagements are just not working out for him. They're attacking in pairs. They're using their big abilities at the wrong moments. Mirana body blocking the Wind Ranger there. Nice. Oh boy.
Warriors of the wood.
Out of my way!
Yeah, that's not worth it, Huskar. Yeah. Can't recklessly go forward against the Bad Rider.
My life comes to nothing.
So
Feed the tree.
probably if you're gonna go forward, wait for the Barathum to be up, wait for the Barathum to charge
Dire's
something,
middle
then
tower
time it
is
with his
under
charge
attack.
in. Just, you know, it looked like very poor communication on the part of your team here, and it's just spiraling out of
Radiant's top
control for you
tower is
here.
under
I
attack.
mentioned the Broodmother being one of the characters that have a good chance of snowballing for them, and certainly that is what she's doing here. She's getting pretty scary at the moment. She's level 13 compared to our Huskar's 9, and you know, the mid is usually the guy that's the highest level on the team. Should we put it that way?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So they did get the tree end, but then again, that's the least important kill they could possibly have gotten. The tree end just doesn't, like the tree end dying really doesn't do anything but give you a bit of gold and keep him off the field for maybe just 30 seconds. It doesn't do much at all. Yeah, we see the lifesteal is just not doing anything to keep the Huskar alive at this point. He's got lifesteal, and normally lifesteal helps you a lot with jungling, but he's losing a lot of health to this large camp. So,
Dire's
and that's
top
down to this
tower
not
is
having
under
any armor
attack.
and the lifesteal just being,
Dire's
you know,
structures are
yeah,
fortified.
not doing enough. So not a lot happening. Let's just see what's going on. He's only at 36 last hits. Let's take a look at how many last hits other people in this game have. 90 here, 70, 60. So
Dire's
Huskar's
top
doing
tower has fallen.
really badly in terms of
Radiant's
last
middle
hits.
tower is under attack.
They did get the Lion there. Again, Lion is not a good. Yeah. Then the Spirit Breaker dies. That's a huge kill for him. Well, not huge, but big kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this Huskar is just Yeah, he's gonna build directly into an Huskar here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And that's another
Radiant's
tank
middle
item, to be
tower
honest.
is under
Huskar
attack.
is it helps you catch up to people, it helps you
Radiant's
tank,
middle tower
and it helps
has
you
fallen.
yeah, and it helps you tank through slowing the attack speed of people. So that's another tank item. Like, you need damage if you're gonna go lifesteal. So it gives you 25 damage. That's the damage you get from Huskar, which is like a, what is it? It's a stupid expensive item. I'm just gonna check how expensive it is actually. So yeah, 5.6k for 25 damage. It does give you like 700 life or so, and the orb effect is nice. It does stack with lifesteal. Yeah, but like, okay, it's just gonna take too long to build. You're farming very inefficiently, and you know, it's just it's gonna take you a long time to farm up these two ultimate orbs. So I just don't think it's gonna come out
Dire's
soon enough,
middle
and you
tower
could
is
just
under
be
attack.
getting an armlet, which is far cheaper. Big kill there on the Brood Mother, super big. Really like that kill.
Dire's
See,
middle
they
tower
actually got
has been
800
denied.
gold for that. 800 gold, which is quite a lot. Yeah. So. I like how Huskar is basically farming with no life at all. If anyone shows up, like, he's a dead man. His team's fighting down there. Yeah.
God! Killing spree.
Yeah, so the Huskar's getting some farm, but his team is basically losing every fight in the meanwhile. So that's not so good. You should definitely not
Dire's
keep an
bottom tower
Ironwood
has
branch
fallen.
on you and an ultimate orb and a point booster in the base. Don't think you should do that. And probably also not that orb of venom if you're this is you have got two really good stat items and then you just keep them in the base. Huskar's gonna go down easy. It's just really tough to fight when you have so little farm on your course. Yeah. See what the Wind Ranger got. Wind Ranger got... Okay, an Orchard, that's pretty good. But an Orchard with 125 that's
Dire's top tower is Dire's structures are fortified.
yeah, can't handle him. Just can't. So we switched them out now. That's pretty good. But yeah, I also think a casual Morbid Mask, it's not great. Like, it's just 15% lifesteal. If you're gonna go for lifesteal, definitely building into a Helm of the Dominator. I think that's 25%. No, it's still 15. Then that's probably, yeah, I'm thinking of that. Yeah, but still, you know, the armor's more important. So it's a very small item to just sacrifice a slot for. He's also gotten a bit unlucky with his urn, that he's only got, I think that's the first charges. No, it's not the first charges, but it's he hasn't got very many charges for his troubles there, so not great. Yeah, hunting the tree is pretty bad. Like, honestly, he's pulling out sometimes. He isn't overcommitting that often. Like, there was the bad overcommit down here in bottom, but else he's honestly pretty good about not overstretching too much. I don't know why, you know, he's focusing the tree end way too much. The tree end is not, like, he's gonna throw out 2 spells and he's done with that engagement. You really need to be focusing on the DPS, which is the Furion and the Brood Mother, I think, and the Bat Rider. Pretty much anyone but the tree end actually is a good focus target. So that was a great fight for them. They needed the kills pretty badly. The Huskar still doesn't have his Skadi. He's getting reasonably close to it now, though. Furion's gonna get caught up. It's pretty good.
Fantastic!
But now I think they are in for some trouble. That rider's gonna come in from behind. There we go. Huskar's isolated. They eliminate the Wind Ranger, which is a big source of damage for them. Huskar has to make his way out. Yeah, can't fight the Brood Mother. Just won't happen.
Wasted sacrifice.
And that
Radiant's
delays
bottom
his
tower is under attack.
his Skadi by a few minutes probably.
Dire's
And it's
middle
gonna
tower is
it's
under
actually
attack.
gonna mean they're
Radiant's
probably
bottom
gonna get
tower
raxed.
is under attack.
I don't think we can take this fight.
Radiant's
Nice
bottom
Hex there,
tower is
interrupting
under
the
attack.
Brothel charge. They did get the Brood Mother
Lions.
and the Lion and now the Bat, maybe. Not the Bat. So they held. I think, you know, if the opponent had played that a bit better, could have probably taken it, but yeah, the Brood Mother dying sort of sealed the deal there. She was doing way better earlier, the Brood Mother. I don't know. Okay, she's going Orchard, so she's wanting to play it more as a gank oriented thing. So yeah, looks like this Skadi is gonna be hitting at 33, 35 or so. Oh, it's actually here right now. Yeah. Okay, so he did get his Skadi up in... No, yeah, now he's got a big item. But before this, he was literally sitting on Morbid Mass, Power Threads, Urn, and then a few smaller items like an Ultimate Orb. So now he's gotten a better tank. He's the armor from the Eye of Scale with 25 agility is actually huge for him. But yep, still not enough. Like, it's just not doing enough. If he BKBs, I think he's pretty good there. Yeah. Yeah. So now they're just kind of stuck defending high ground, which is fine if the opponent insists on pushing into it. What the opponent should be looking to do here is just taking Roshan, taking the remaining outer tower, and just farming up more efficiently than the opponents. Especially when corruption goes down here like this, yeah, definitely take the tower. Because
Dire's top tower has
the
fallen.
Brothel can't make it up here very fast at all. Now the Wind Ranger has to heal up. And the Mirana's dead,
Dire's
so
top tower
taking a
is
high
under
ground
attack.
tower now. It's pretty good. Lion's gonna get first down. Yeah, Brood Mother. Yeah. Yeah, but it is always very iffy trying to push high ground this early. At 30 minutes is pretty early to try and push high ground without having just decidedly won a team fight. So the opponent's kind of giving you a lot more room to breathe than they should here, and giving up some pretty big kills. So he's gonna go into an armlet now, but that's just too late, I think. It's not gonna be doing very much. Like, it's just a... Yeah, it was huge earlier. Now at like 35 minutes, it's still good, but it's not gonna be as big. Yeah. And honestly, the Skadi, I'm not a... Like, the Orb effect isn't gonna be doing super much for you. Like, you can slow down the auto attacks of the Brood and
Dire's
the
middle tower is
Fury
under
on,
attack.
but those aren't like the deal breakers here. Jumping on the Lion, normally I would be happy about it, but you have to kind of be able to kill him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
So I
Dire's
think,
middle barracks
honestly,
has fallen.
if you had farmed better, you gotten an early armlet instead of a late, or you gotten a minute. When can we get that up? If you had like a 15-20 minute Helm of the Dominator armlet, I think that would be way better than a 30 minute Skadi here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're still in the game, it's just, you know, it's looking pretty tough. You've got a Rex down and all this. But yeah, if you can just stack up the armor, that would be really good. Stack up the armor, stack up the HP. Like, Skadi is a good item, but it just came out too late. You needed to be more of a threat in the mid game, and that's well and truly past.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Doing badly on the rebel front. Lion actually using his Finger of Death cleverly there. If you use it early on, he's gonna take a lot of damage. Very chaotic team fights here. Basically, if the Brood Mother lives, the Huskar's gonna die because the Brood Mother gets so much physical damage, and all she gets 100 extra. So when Hold is active, she's just gonna maul you.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Warriors of the wood.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower, Dire's ancient, is under attack.
This sort of a last ditch effort going on.
Nature's gods.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
Yeah, this is GG. They're just kind of dragging it out. Yeah.
Hard landing. To hell.
Yeah, we're just gonna speed this up because honestly, there's very little to say now. They're just at too big of a deficit. Like, even if the other team just decides to push top, there's nothing they can do to defend. Like the other lanes will push in automatically because it's Megatrix, and yeah, there's just not a lot to do. Barathum's gonna go in alone, and that's even more GG now. That they really need that Barathum. Like he's super important. He has gone for the armlet. He's got a pretty decent build here. Very good to get that attack speed up when you have a bash. Yeah.
Dire's ancient, Dire radiant victory.
Yep. There we go. Okay, so in summary, I think the biggest thing is to mind your last hits while in lane. Like, you did manage to get up a good amount of last hits. You did make up a lot of last hits in the later portions, but that was just kind of through auto attacking, a lot of jungling, a lot of just standing there tanking the creep wave and just being the only damage being put on them, and thus absolutely getting the last hit because there's no other damage that can steal it from you. You did not put any focus into actually taking those last hits, and that put you way further behind than you should be with a Mirana, a roaming Mirana, setting up ganks for you in the mid lane, actually securing you the first blood. Even with the return kill, even ignoring the return kill, you should have been way further ahead. The early Mask of Morb and Mask pickup, I don't like. I think building into power threads and armlet first, and then maybe considering going into a Helmet of the Dominator or BKB or whatever you feel like you need. You still need to go BKB on this guy if there's too much lockdown. It doesn't work against Bad Riders Lasso, We discussed that briefly in the forum thread, but yeah, like it works against all of line stuff. It works against what we have. It works against Brood Mother's attack. It works against doesn't okay. Actually, this game it was pretty good skipping it probably. You could argue about skipping it because the Treant Entangle or the Overgrowth it's called. The Treant's ultimate goes through BKB. Or you can break it with BKB if you activate the BKB after it's been cast, but if he just waits until the BKB is active, he can lock people down anyway. So all you're really doing is eliminating the line. Line is the least threat to you here, probably. So yeah, there was a few bad rotations. Spend a little too much time away from the lane early on before you have your key items. Look to be more active after you get your damage up. If you get like a level advantage and some quick items, like if you get an early armlet, you can absolutely look for some pick-offs, but when you just have a Morbid Mask and an Urn and a Power Threads, it's gonna be, you know, pretty lackluster damage you're putting out. So, rotate less, look for more last hits early on, and get a few items leading up to that Skadi if you want to go for the Skadi. Yeah. That's, I think that's the main thing. And also there was a few engagements where you could have just held on to the life break a little bit early on. Oh, well, there was just one. But yeah, it's this was a pretty weird team composition from you. And this is just an all-pick game, so they are gonna be weird a lot of the time. And you did have an Enigma that was AFK for 2 minutes at the start of the game, so that's unfortunate, but there's not a lot to be done there. But yeah, that's it's basically those last hits. Like, you should be way higher as a mid. You shouldn't be around 130 last hits at the end of the game. That's really bad. You should be in a 4 to 5 minute game. You should be way higher, way higher, and that would have allowed you to get a lot more items. And the more items you have, the better. Look for some early armor on the guy. Like definitely, like that Helm of Iron well early on instead of the Morbid Mask would have done a lot. So yeah. But you did do some decent stuff. I like your skill build. I like your starting items. Some of the engagements you did quite well. I like the focusing of the lion a few times. Like if you can just jump on him, focus him down, that's really good. Kind of jumping on the Bat Rider isn't the best thing in the world, and you didn't do that. But I'm glad you didn't, because that kind of forces his attention on you. And of all the people on your team, I think probably you are the guy the Bat Rider really wants to drag out. He certainly seemed to be focusing you a lot. Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention, if you are looking to run Huskar and you want to run it with like a friend or two, good heroes to combo him with is like healers, like the Treant here. It's really good on Huskar, because if you can keep the Huskar alive at low health, you get the attack speed bonus from Berserker's Blood. And you kind of turn him into an unkillable damage machine. If you can just kind of keep him alive down there with Dazzle or a Treant Protector, maybe an Omni Knight, some sort of healer like that, that's really good. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this time. As usual, the directions for sending in replays is gonna be in the description for the video. My videos are gonna be slowing down a lot. Or well, they have slowed down. I mean, it's been a few weeks since I last put one up, but they're gonna be about this pace. Probably I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a lot faster than what it has been. So yeah, you can send in replays. Maybe I'll do them, maybe I won't. So yeah, the direction is gonna be in the description. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm out.